Hello everybody, I'm SJM. Welcome back to some more Steampunk. Today we're not going to be doing too much, but we can go through a little bit of what I've done. Set up a little what's it called? Alloy kiln there, so I can get some brass without having to mess around in the nether too much. And that's going to help me with my iron farm that I've built, because I wanted to get started on that because we're going to need lots of iron for immersive engineering as well as general purposes as well. You know, you got to turn the iron into steel, and a lot of the machines in IE are made from iron and steel, so it's good to have the iron going early, and then we may as well go about setting up a windmill so we can get a little bit more power into our little create factory, and I can set that up a little bit more proper with the extra rotational energy that we can get from a windmill as opposed to the water wheels. So without too much further, let's go ahead and take a look. So in here I put down my toolboxes, and I can just return back the stuff that I was using, just using that middle box there. I punched on an extra gearbox here so that I could charge up the copper back tank, because I I made the back tank and the diving helmet so that I could go down deeper in the caves and just have a look around down there. So they're not too hard at all, just basically copper. This is copper and glass, and this is a block of copper and some andesite alloy and such. Then just if we take a look at it here, because I've got my chest piece on, left click, that's what it is. If you look at it, there's like a little knob on the top. And basically you have to have that powered by one of these from the top. And you hook it up to your thing there, and it will suck in the air and give you, if you look in the top left there, it's got 15 minutes going and ready to go on there. I haven't changed much else in here, although I dug out this room. And I had my own designs for an iron farm in here. I had like 4 drills and, you know, a portable storage interface, a mechanical bearing, all that kind of stuff set up for that there, for doing that. And I ended up not being able to get it to work, so I had to grab somebody else's design off the internet, and I'll link it for you down there. But it's cleverly designed, so it's not a bad one to go over there. So this guy, the alloy kiln. So if you look at the recipe for making brass, you need the blaze burner with a blaze in it, and in the mixing formula to get it in the normal create way. But with immersive, you can do it in here with just coal. Again, copper and zinc put together gets you brass ingot, and then we can get to fancy stuff like a brass funnel. The only problem there is that we're going to need the polished rose quartz, which needs this rose quartz, which needs nether quartz, and a bunch of redstone. Or aside from that, you can find this rose quartz in the world, which I do have a couple of those from my explorations, 8 so far. So I'll be able to get my brass funnels going so that I could do filtered shenanigans with it, pulling things out. So next we'll go and take a look at the windmill bearing. So this is real simple. You just need a plank, any kind of stone. So I used tuff for mine because I found ended up mining a bunch of tuff at one point, and then a shaft That gets us a windmill bearing. And then we'll need windmill sails to go on the on there to go. So that's wool, sticks, and andesite alloy. But alternatively, you can also make it out of the immersive industrial hemp if you make this tough fabric. It's pretty intensive on that, but it's not too bad overall as an alternative if you've got access to an industrial hemp farm like I have here, right? I got a couple of rows of this stuff already set up and a couple of stacks of it collected already. But you'll just put your windmill bearing down, then you'll need a block on top of it. I just used a plain block of wool there. We'll click this with an empty hand to stop it from rotating. And then you just have to put your windmill sails on it. And then the number of sails that you put on determine how much stress units you can get out of it. So I do have the engineer's goggles made already. It's a pretty simple recipe. You just need to make a gold plate, a couple of pieces of glass, and a string. And that will get you your goggles so that you can see some of the stats associated with your machines that are out there. So we'll just do a quick look in here. So I've got my press running really slow, but it still takes 128 stress units. The mechanical mixture, again another 128, so that's 256 already. And this large water wheel is only producing 512, so I'm already over half on that, so I won't be able to get too many more doodads hooked up in there without this better power source over here. So this guy with just a few attached on there, I think I got 21 so far, because I only had enough andesite alloy at the time I was making this to make 28 sails altogether. And this is giving me 1,024. So we'll throw on these last 7. We'll see how it goes up. And that's not the way I want my design. Make this pretty, like little eagle wings. So click with an empty hand. We're up to 1536. And yeah, I got 2 more. $15.36. So that other 2 didn't add too much more to it, but obviously that gives us 3 times the amount of stress units that we're getting out of this one big water wheel, and it's a lot cheaper than, well, it's not a lot cheaper, but it is a little bit more efficient to do it this way. The other issue is this turns a little bit slower, so you'll need a little bit more gearing to get it up to the proper speeds, especially to run your mixer, but it's not too bad. You can also change the direction on that, so if the way this is spinning, like, say you've got some fans set up down there for doing washing or smoking or whatever, if you're having trouble getting the gears to go the right way, or the fan to blow the right way, you can change the direction on that guy there. Oh yeah, we forgot to go over the recipe for the kiln. The kiln is just a 2x2x2, so we only need 8 of these kiln bricks, so 4 recipes with sandstone and regular clay bricks, or ash bricks if you've managed to make those, but those are a little bit painful to make, so I don't usually suggest going on that route there. So yeah, and I guess, yeah, the next thing to look at will be this little iron farm, which I got going over here. I just finished setting it up just a couple of minutes ago, so it hasn't really even been going that long. Some extra blocks that ended up breaking from some point, but... And I've got some troubleshooting to do on this guy right now, so he's not actually doing anything at the moment. For some reason, even though these two belts are like this, I attached this belt from there all the way to here, but it's not spinning this shaft here for some reason. So nothing was actually coming out of this funnel, so... Well, it's spinning now, so I'm gonna leave that alone and just keep the extra shaft that I apparently didn't need, I guess, and we can turn this back on. So just one bucket of lava, and it spreads out on either side, right? And then goes down and it'll start making cobblestone because I've got the waterlogged stairs here. Just making sure that we've got some trapdoors so that that water doesn't spill out all over the place. And the cobble slowly but surely comes into here. And it should get distributed between the two, but it doesn't seem to be doing that right now. I guess because the right-hand side of the chest coordinates with the top of the chest. You know what I can? No, I can't do that. But anyways, when this backs up at some point, then maybe it'll come out on that side over there. Maybe. Or I could also prime it too, I guess. It's not that I don't have a lot of cobblestone hanging around from digging out massive shafts of everything. Or all the rooms that I've been digging out in my base here, so definitely got lots of cobble. There we go, you just put it in the bottom half of the chest and it'll start coming out on this left-hand side here. But we'll go over it quickly for y'all. So it's working on 3 small water wheels there. That goes down there. It takes, there's 5 encased chain drives here just to keep the rotation going the proper way. So everything here is rotating clockwise. There is one horizontal or regular gearbox in back there that's attaching the water wheels to this chain drive there. And then the chain drive is driving this belt that drives all the way down to here. Then we've got some gearing to speed up our mills so that they break down the cobblestone a little bit faster, and slowing down this belt here and as well as the fans, because we don't need, like, the speed of the fans doesn't speed up the washing at all. It just extends the length that the air particles go. So you don't need, we only need those fans going as slow as we can, A, to save on some stress units, and B, just so that it's not blowing all over the place. Like, otherwise I'd probably get freezing here if I was if that was blowing any stronger, I think. But in here it's just washing up all of that gravel that we crushed from the cobblestone, and we just look at the bulk washing. You're washing gravel, you get a 25% chance that you get a flint, 12% chance that you get an iron nugget, and then the other, the other 60, well, 50, was it 37? Yeah. So the other 63% of the time you get nothing. So it'll slowly but surely bring in some iron nuggets for us. And then the reason why I wanted to get the brass tunnels going is so that we can filter the flint out and void it off. and as well bring the iron nuggets out another side, put it into a press with a basin, and we can get iron ingots out of that, and you can even press down the iron ingots again and make iron blocks out of it if you ramp this up and are producing a lot more iron per hour. But yeah, the gearing up and down is pretty simple down here. There's not a lot to it really. So I attached a big cog wheel to the end of this belt at the original speed, and we just geared it down, right? So attach the small one directly to the big one, and then that big one cuts the speed in half. I extended it out by one extra shaft so that we could get to the other side of these chain drives, and then geared it down again one more time to get onto those ones. And then this shaft connects to the second half of the belts on this super slow cog wheel here, just to slow down this process so that it gives everything the time that it needs to wash properly. Looks like it's washing in plenty of time, so probably didn't need that, but that is what it is. It's working. I'm not going to mess with it. I messed around with my own design for way too long before I just decided to get something that works so that I can move forward and stop messing around with my own thoughts there. So if you need the directions for doing this and all the materials lists, it's not too heavy. You don't need any special things too much. Just you need some initial iron, obviously, to get going on this, so like a half a stack or so should get you all of the stuff and things that you need on top of the andesite alloy, which I use zinc for. So also just note that once you've got this basic, or once you've got a mixing basin here, you can double your return on when you make andesite alloy. Because if we look at the regular recipe, 2 iron and 2 andesite make 1 andesite alloy. But if you do it in the mixer, 1 andesite and 1 zinc. Don't use iron, use zinc because there's not many other uses for the zinc. 1 and 1 gets you 1 there. So basically doubles your output. So rush your mixer and you get much cheaper andesite alloy that way. I think that just about wraps up everything I wanted to talk about in this episode. The recipe for the drills aren't too bad. Oh yeah, this has got 3 drills on it. I think that should have been obvious from... Oh, it's not in that direction. It's out this direction. 3 drills, 2 fans, and 2 mills was the only devices that we needed there. Did take some chain drives, but that's not too hard either, especially if you've gone out into the world and gotten yourself tons of the andesite casings from some of the buildings that are out there. There's one building that's particularly good. The entire floor of the top room where the master bedroom is made out of andesite casing. So I ended up with like a couple of stacks just from that room itself. Used up some already. I'm down to 103, running low. But yeah, hope you all enjoyed this episode. I appreciate you all, and we will see you in the next one.